If you own a landscaping or lawn care business here in Virginia, I can almost guarantee you're overpaying the IRS on your taxes. And no, it's not because your CPA is bad at their job. It's because of a fundamental mistake that happens between April and December every single year. Hi, I'm Jim. I'm a landscape accountant and tax expert. And I get it. You're out in the field managing crews, quoting jobs, putting out fires, and the last thing you want to do at 7 o'clock at night is log into QuickBooks and start going through bookkeeping. What do most lawn care guys do? They shove their fuel records in their truck console. They put off sorting through their payroll, and everything goes in a shoebox in April when they go to their CPA. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly why that habit is costing you $5,000 to $10,000 a year in missed deductions, and the simple shift that you need to make so you can stop bleeding cash to the IRS. So let's address the elephant in the room. When I talk to lawn care or landscaping service owners, they usually tell me, hey, Jim, I'm good. I have a CPA. He handles my taxes. I take him his stuff at the end of the year. He gets it all into shape. The problem is your CPA in tax season has to then dig through, find all your hidden write-offs. They'll charge you $300 an hour just to clean up your books. And the reality is they're not going to get real creative when it comes time to finding the deductions that aren't already obvious in that stack of receipts that you gave them on April 14th. They aren't looking at your daily equipment depreciation. They aren't tracking your seasonal chemical costs accurately. They're not optimizing your crew labor allocations. If your books aren't flawless before they hit your CPA's desk, guess what? You're losing thousands of dollars in deductions. You're leaving thousands of dollars on the table because landscape is an asset-heavy business. And, generic bookkeeping software, generic bookkeepers, they miss the nuances. They're not familiar with your business. And there's three massive deductions that I see lawn care owners missing every year. Number one is premature equipment write-offs. Are you properly leveraging Section 179 to deduct the full purchase price of that new zero-turn mower or the new skid steer that you bought? Or are they dragging it out over several years? Second, the truck and fuel trap. Are you tracking your heavy-duty trucks by mileage, taking the standard IRS mileage rate? Or are you using actual expenses? In the landscaping business, you are towing heavy loads. And because actual expenses like fuel, tires, and repairs usually are significantly higher than the average taxpayer, you could get a better deduction by actually itemizing the fuel cost and the tires and the repairs. But it requires meticulous monthly tracking. Now you're saying, Jim, it's just not worth it. I do what I can. I get the work done. I give my customers a good price. I give them good service. I can't be spending all these hours tracking all these details just to save a few $1,000s at year end. Well, think again. What you can do is this: do what you do best and outsource the rest. Have someone who's skilled and has the software and has the knowledge of the landscape industry to be doing your monthly bookkeeping so that you're not missing deductions, you're not seeing things fall off the back burner, and you're not overpaying the IRS by $10,000 next April 15th. Here's the third thing that most generic bookkeepers miss is subcontractor versus employee labor. If you're misclassifying your peak season help right now in July, the Virginia Employment Commission will come a-calling. They can hit you with massive penalties for classifying workers who should have been employees, but you decided you were going to pay them on a 1099 basis because, hey, you could save a few dollars. The reality is an audit from the Virginia Employment Commission can put you out of business 3 or 4 years from now because they will assess all of the taxes that you should have been paying. The unemployment tax, the employer's portion of FICA. That's something that has to come out of your pocket, and it has to be tracked properly so that you don't run into trouble with the IRS or the state tax authorities. Now, you can't capture all this stuff in December, okay? You capture them in May and July and September. And so the secret to paying less tax isn't some magical loophole or some secret you saw on YouTube or on TikTok because of some expert told you you could write off your vacation or write off your new Lamborghini. Where the tax savings come is bookkeeping that's optimized for your business. Do you have a bookkeeper who knows the landscaping and lawn care business? When your books are reconciled every single month by someone who actually knows the difference between a line trimmer and a skid steer, three things happen. You know your exact profit margin on every single property you mow or landscape. We call it profit per stop or profit per lawn. That means you can price your jobs for actual profit. Second, your year-end tax bill drops dramatically because every single penny of your write-offs are captured in real time. And third, your CPA will actually celebrate when they see your finances. Your financial reports will be clean, accurate, and up to date. And you'll find that your tax prep fees will go down because they're not rummaging through receipts, doing whatever they can to put your books back into shape, making journal entries and adjustments, and then just slapping it into last year's tax return so that you can save time. No, you want to take the time and have optimized bookkeeping all year long so that when your CPA or your tax pro gets your financials, they can put them into a complete and accurate tax return. Better yet, if you have bookkeeping done throughout the year, you're not going to have simply a historian working on your books and on your taxes. You don't need someone who puts last year's numbers on last year's forms. You need a proactive expert who can see where the margins are, see where your profits are, help you estimate your tax payments, and most importantly, help you build a game plan, not in January after the ball drops in Times Square, but a game plan mid-year based on your mid-year financials of what things you need to start doing to reduce your taxes before December 31st. And then we'll meet with you again in November to go through year-end strategies, what to do, how to do it, when to do it, so that you can reduce your tax bite between November 15th and December, not get worried about it in March. It's too late. It doesn't matter how good your financials are if you drop them on your CPA's desk, but you've done no advanced tax planning. So that's what monthly bookkeeping can do for you. Look, let's pull back a minute. Why did you go into business? You went into business because you figured you had a skill and you could serve customers and you could make money and build wealth for you and your family doing it. Not to spend your Sundays wrestling with spreadsheets and receipts. You belong on the business, not in the business. You don't belong in your books. You need someone who can do the books for you, accurate, up to date, and complete, and give you a scorecard of 4 or 5 key numbers that you can track so that you can grow your profit, grow your cash flow, and proactively make decisions that make you more money. Can't do that by treating accounting like it's a once-a-year event and then going to your CPA with a stack of receipts and a pile of stuff and expect them to work some kind of magic come April. If you're running a landscaping or a home service business here in Virginia and you want to make sure your bookkeeping is actually set up to optimize your tax savings this year, let's talk. I'm currently taking on new landscaping clients here in July for our monthly bookkeeping service. I have an opening for 4 new clients. Click the link in the description below and schedule a free tax strategy assessment. What we can do is we can look at your current bookkeeping setup, even look at last year's tax return, see where there's mistakes or missed opportunities in your chart of accounts and your tax returns, and then build a plan to fix it. Stop overpaying the IRS. Get your weekends back. Click the link below. Let's get to work. Don't forget, like my video. Please subscribe to the channel for more landscape business and tax tips, and I'll see you next time.